Hey everyone, and welcome to a unit analysis of Ike. It's been over a year since he's been released, and the times have changed. Thanks to the Emblem Hero battle, I get the chance to talk about him. This review will go over his stats, competition, skills, allies, weaknesses, and builds. Let's begin.
I won't let anyone die!
Ike is a sword infantry unit. There are a lot of other units that have this class. Even when he was released, there were a lot. But now it's even harder. Ike has 42 HP, 35 attack, 31 speed, 32 defense, and 18 resistance. His HP, attack, and defense is fantastic. His speed is okay, and his resistance is poor. Thankfully, his IVs don't change his BST scoring. His first competition is with himself. Well, Radiant Dawn version. Both of them are pretty similar. Young Ike has 1 less point of attack, but 1 more point of speed. Older Ike has 3 more points of defense. Older Ike also has Radiant Ether, which is a much better special than regular Ether because it has a lower cooldown. A couple years really does make a difference. Second up is Leviathan. When I did the Leviathan review, I also compared her to young Ike. Leviathan has higher attack, same speed, and slightly more defense. While she doesn't have this encounter, her sword, Leviathan, is pretty strong. Ike has the Ragnell. It has built-in this encounter and it's a pretty strong weapon. But with this encounter built into his weapon, his A skill is open to other skills. Back then, having this encounter built into your weapon made you a good unit, like Ryoma, Xander, etc. Speaking of A skills, Ike comes with the Heavy Blade. He was the first unit to introduce this skill and it's definitely nice. Nowadays, it isn't the best A skill because it's now a seal and Death Blow is so nice. Anyways, if Ike's attack is greater than the foe's attack, his special cooldown drops by 2 instead of 1. His B skill is Swordbreaker. I wonder if this was intentional, like they gave him Swordbreaker to prepare to go against the Black Knight when he came out. But this skill does work with Ike's special, Ether and Heavy Blade. With Heavy Blade active, Ike needs to hit once, get hit once back, and hit once more to get Ether ready for the next combat. Of course, he needs to double or get the Swordbreaker. For allies, magic tanks really make Ike's life easier. With 18 resistance, he really needs them. Micaiah is known for her high resistance and super good tome, so she'll be a great ally. Since he has Heavy Blade, attack debuffers will be very helpful. Soth with a Pesh Cast and Mist being a healer are fantastic. Since Ike is a red unit, he'll face some trouble with blue tank units, so green sweepers are very helpful. For weaknesses, magic units are the bane of him. Even with the Ragnell, magic units can still deal heavy damage to him. Units like Brave Hector, Legendary Ephraim can be a fierce challenge for Ike. Abel comes with Swordbreaker and he can handle Ike pretty well. Magic blue units like Legendary Tiki will definitely take down Ike. Delphia and Summer Camilla are heavy hitters, so Ike might want to avoid them unless he's in vantage range. For my first build, it's a simple budget set. Give him attack plus 3 in the A slot and move the Heavy Blade into the seal and bam, a functional set. Though this set doesn't fully utilize the Ragnell. Second build uses Fury and Vantage. With Fury, he can easily drop into vantage range and make full use of his high attack and the Ragnell. With Fury, his speed and defense is pretty solid and you can expect him to take a hit better. With his attack boosted by Fury, he can get the Heavy Blade boost pretty easily. Negative wise, the Fury damage can rack up. Sure, I can proc Ether, but then that can push him out of vantage range. Third build uses Fierce Stance. With the Ragnell's Disencounter and Vantage, I can get an extreme boost in power. At this point, it's better to run something like Luna or Draconic Aura for the power. Ether is nice, but running the risk of not being in vantage range sucks. Negative wise, all the investment is going to his attack. His speed and defense gets no help, which can hurt him in certain matchups. For a final verdict, should you invest into Ike? Personally, no. Legendary Ike or the older Ike is a much better version and he's free. As for skill fodder, Ether is probably the best thing to give. Heavy Blade for this A slot isn't that good and Abel has Swordbreaker and he's found at 3 and 4 stars. But having another sword unit isn't bad for Arena Assault. That's it for this unit analysis. I hope you all enjoyed and if you did, make sure to subscribe for more Fire Heroes content. With all that, make sure you stay hydrated folks and have a nice day.